that's us.
Is it? Oh, it is
Straight-
us.
yeah, we're
That's us
fucking-
flying straight out the gate.
That's
boy.
what I mean, like, you know what I mean? Fucking, yeah.
Cheers for the Corona, my Sharona.
That's not even mine, that's Liam's.
Cheers for the Corona, my Sharona, Liam.
Here, hold on, I'm still wearing these fucking headphones. Chico, you take these headphones.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking, you know,
Ginger
like...
Craig Davis.
What's the song? He doesn't sing...
7 Days is his number one hit.
Wait, hold on. Oh, fuck. Fuck the headphones, it'll be alright. We're straight out.
We're flying.
I know, anyway.
We're flying.
What is the crack with you, sir?
I'm fixing the...
Yeah, no, you're going.
I need to make sure not to shout in, because in the Shane Todd one, I'm always conscious that, like, I basically went, alright Shane, how's it going? For the whole episode.
I know, I watched that one back and it was like say this was the mic. This is how you were recording. Yo, like shit, what's happening?
Like,
Shane was like, yeah, like, you know, I was just fucking, I love that. Like,
Shane, what advice would you give to young comedians? Just shouting away. My mum was like, what question did you ask me?
And your fucking roommate was there. Like,
yeah, my flatmate was in his room, just sort of like locked up.
I know.
Yeah, I thought I like a flatmate, and I do like having a flatmate, but I'm also kind of like, he's out with his girlfriend in London for the week, and I'm kind of like, fuck yes.
Yeah. Oh, is he away over there then?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Because, yeah, I know it can be quite chaotic for you where you live. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a fucking psycho neighbour. I was telling Justin all about him. Like, I was like, he gets like harassed by this neighbour, and then the police dealt with it or whatever, and then my dad was on holiday, and I got back from and I was telling my dad about it. My dad went, it's not over. I was like, what do you mean? And my dad was like, it's not over. He goes, there's more to come from this story, like.
Yeah.
And all, and then I was kind of like, right, and my dad was like, so if he comes into the house, that's the only time you're allowed to hit him with a golf club or something. Like,
Yeah.
right, okay, fair enough. But then we were driving back from Lavery's on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And I was like, just drop me off at the top of the street. And you went, no, there's a guy at the top of the street.
I looked over and it was the fucking neighbour sitting with two Alsatian dogs. Like, literally, like, two dogs sitting here. He was just having a fig. He was, like, looking.
Like cross-legged, like a Native American.
On
a
it,
grit box.
oh, you know, on, like, the grit salt box, like, the wee yellow boxes with, like, the salt in it.
Yeah.
It was so
What
I looked
the
over and I was all,
fuck?
the fuck's eating in there? And Kieran was all, the fuck's eating in there? Like,
Because, like, my flatmate, do you remember that? Right, don't talk about it in your podcast, but this is my podcast. This is
so,
your
yeah,
podcast.
if your
So,
mad dad's listening to this, that's, I'm doing well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you see, like we had like people over from like 5. It was like Newcastle were playing Crystal Palace because I'm weird about knowing football results, but like I remember like it was 0-0. We left the golf club, came down to my house, and it was 7 o'clock to 9. I have the log of the taxi order for 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we played a bit of music, left, and that was a Saturday night. And then Monday afternoon, so he must have just been stewing in his head. He walked up and started banging the fucking door, and my flatmate opened it and was like, and he went to like go into my house and was like, where the fuck is Ciaran? And all my flatmate was like, he's not here and all. And he was like, just going mental, but I'm gonna fucking get him and all. He was, if he makes any more noise, my mum's elderly and she's gotta like, she can't like get about by herself and all. And he goes, and you're going out of your way to make it worse.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, that's fair enough. Then I looked out the window the other day and his mum's coming out of the car with like all these shopping bags.
You know, one of them one trip
Prada,
woman now, like
yeah,
a fucking
Gucci
9 of them at her
bags.
fingers, like fucking falling off, like, you know, like.
And she's on a course of steroids in the last week, like, she's fucking more jacked, yeah.
Doing handstands, like.
She was fucking, yeah, going in, like, doing the splits on her way into the house and all. I was like, he was making out like his mum was like, I expected to walk in and he was like, you don't realise how bad my mum has it. So my dad made the suggestion, why don't you try and speak to the mum
Yeah.
and get her on site. And I was trying to explain to my dad, the mum doesn't, in my head I was like, the mum doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I go into the house, can I speak to your mum? I go into the house, there's going to be a corpse and then it's going to be him and his
It's
ma's
Norman
clothes.
Bates
Norman
sort of thing,
Bates,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
gonna-
he's going to be wearing his ma's dress and stuff.
Beard and all.
Yeah.
Still patting the dogs, like.
And then there was like a guy, he's like sort of like he's English, but I don't know where he's some sort of he's quite tan and always wears a snapback. And there was a guy recently pitched in my street or in my area, walking up and down the road with a machete. And
Really?
I thought, did you hear what he looked like? He had like a snapback on, so like a
Yeah.
tan skin, small guy. And I was like, why are you trying to wind me up here? But hopefully that's done now.
Yeah,
But
it was just funny whenever we drove in. I was all, I'll fucking deal with him if he like goes to do anything to Kieran. I looked over, 2 Alsatians beside him. I went, "You're on your own, bro." I was like, I can't do anything about this.
The thing
Yeah.
is as well, he does this thing real tie one of them up by the neck and then feed the other one. But the one that's tied by the neck goes fucking mental.
Yeah,
So he obviously treats them badly enough that they're quite loyal to him, like.
yeah, fuck that. Like, why are humans like this? Like, I don't even know. Like, fuck that. There's a guy. There's a wee dog runs about here called Buddy. You know him. Buddy is like a war veteran.
Yeah.
He's like a dog with PTSD. But he never like calls that. He like chase after you and like bark at you. But has he ever bit you or anything? No.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
He died after he bit me.
We seen him get hit with a banger.
Yeah,
A firework banger.
People like fuck fireworks at him. He's got a wee limp and all. He like runs about with his wee paw up, and it's so sad.
Who's the comedian that fucking they've got a joke that they're named after a dog, or their parents wanted a dog.
I can't remember.
Their parents wanted a dog. I don't want to do someone else's bit as well. I'm always wary of that. Like,
I know. I have no idea. I don't even know like who would even be close to that. I'm trying to like think who his dog's names.
There's someone because it's a great bit. Like, but I can't remember who it is. Like,
yeah.
But yeah,
it's fucking. I don't even know. Like
Pete Giffen.
George Robinson.
Yeah. No, it's just, like it's I don't want to say someone's full bit, but it's like. It's a name like Bully or Max or something like that there, and their parents wanted a dog, but they had a son instead, so they called him Max, still like a dog.
Yeah.
But it's a great bit.
Fuck, I have heard that bit actually. Yeah,
I'm trying to think who it is. Like,
it's good content, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, we might start into questions. We got a few. I'll let you guess who the first one was from, right? Oh yeah, it was what's talking about you?
Okay.
What's his opinion on the best video game of all time? Super Mario 64.
I've never been into Mario. Genuinely, I've always been more Sly Cooper and he's played Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Dexter. Like, I was always more PlayStation. Like, Mario, the fact that if you touch a fucking Koopa, you die. What's that about? I want like to be hit a few times.
You get touched by a mushroom, like you go fucking mental. Last of Us, you know what I mean?
You grow taller and shit.
Yeah.
But like, I've never like I like Mario Kart, like, but the actual Super Mario games I can never get into.
Is this your way of winding Pete up, or?
Yeah, because Pete's a big Nintendo nerd, like Nintendo nerd.
Nintendo
nerd. Pete's a big Nintendo.
He's a Nintendo nerd. That's the name of this podcast.
Yeah, I can't drive, but I can fucking screw your ass on Mario Kart, like. You know what I mean?
No, who's your character in Mario Kart?
I like Waluigi, like.
Waluigi.
He's seen some shit, like. Yeah. I like Bowser Jr. as well.
You look like you could play like a good. Oh, no, you'd be a good Luigi, I think.
Luigi, yeah.
Yeah, to Pete's Mario.
There was a kid today in school and we were cooking shortbread and HE.
Yeah.
And he kept putting on the gloves and saying he was like Luigi, going, "Here we go!" Putting on the white plastic gloves, and I was like. Or he kept saying
You're never gonna get a girlfriend, man. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, this kid pools like.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
That's why, you know, funny gets a funny, as they say.
It's let me hit because I'm goofy. Like, this kid's 14. I shouldn't say he's 13. Actually, he was telling me that it's his birthday on Tuesday.
Right.
Because he was going. He kept singing. I've said helping him in English today, but he kept sitting beside me going, "I was even gonna bet. I just want to have a good night." That's it. He kept singing that in my ear, and I was like,
well, are you like the teacher in like the autistic class or something?
they're all class crack, but one kid in particular was just winding me up today, and he wouldn't get off Snapchat. When he got up, I went, "Yo," and he went, "What?" for the whole class, and I went, "You have negative riz." The whole class ripped them apart.
What age group do you teach?
They're year 10s, but they're like 13, 14, like, so they're at that sort of same maturity level that I am at. And
we'll not say where you work or anything.
Yeah, but it's
narrow it down.
They also all probably follow this podcast now, because the last time I done this podcast, a clip went viral, but it got enough traction.
It was like 10k views, you know, a couple hundred likes, you know,
of me talking about like I used to get bullied, then I would bully other people, and it was like a vicious circle. And then someone commented on this.
No, there was 2 comments.
Yeah. This is the guy who's the class resistant in my maths class.
Someone goes, "He takes us for double award science." Or something. I was like
he bullies me too.
I got a fucking Justin text me going, "You're not gonna believe this," and I was about to go on stage in the Empire and open my phone, and fuck me, this is added pressure.
Absolutely scooped. There's my girlfriend's friend. She's like a technology teacher in a high school, and she, like, one of the kids found her Facebook.
Oh, fuck.
And like once you get found, like, the teacher's Facebook gets found. I remember like one of our teachers got found, and like with it was like a fucking plague. Like within like a day, you know, it just fucking wiped every phone in the school had a photo of her fucking on a night out, you know. And that's what, again, she's like 24. Yeah. You know, so she's a 24-year-old woman. She drinks a lot. She goes out with friends and, you know, parties and all. And should be, you know, she wouldn't be wearing very conservative clothes when she's out and all, you know.
Fuck, there's a drama teacher in my old school who taught me like drama, and then she like popped up to me saying like, "Congratulations to see you following your dream. I always knew you'd sort of be on the stage." And I was fucking blocked when she texted me, "Happy days, get a drink sometime." What the fuck did I say? I deleted the message straight away. I was like, this woman's 40 next year. I was like, what are you playing?
Her husband texted you the next day.
No, single ma. But,
oh, really?
Single ma, reveal yourself. Yeah,
Sort it out, you know what I mean?
I remember
Go
like,
like in.
This is the new segment we have in this podcast. Guess who we brought in?
you taught me drama, let's start some.
Holy fuck.
But yeah, I woke up the next morning and like, because sometimes I'll wake up on like a Sunday and I'll see people I've Snapchatted and I don't open what I've sent them and I just delete the message and not read it like.
Yeah.
And then like, because I remember like one of my friends, I got her mum on Snapchat and I Snapchatted her mum and I didn't even bother to see what she replied. I just deleted the account.
Like, I know I've seen you in action whenever you're drunk. Like, the first time I seen you, remember Audron's birthday, we went to Lavery's, and Ciaran came over to me blocked, and we barely even knew each other at the time. It was like last March. It was like this time last year. It was quite crazy.
Yeah, I think I was out for my 23rd or 24th.
Yeah. And Ciaran came over to me steaming, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck's that?" And I was all, "That's Ciaran Franco. He's a comedian." And everyone was like, "Jesus Christ, he's blocked." You were like hugging on to me, going, "I mate, fucking like, we're gonna be famous and all." It's like,
I fucking pretty sure the half a gram MDMA as well. So it's in the face. I'm an Indian as well. Because remember that night I was like, right, something's gonna come out here either end. So I need to go home like.
Who would have knew the next time you were in Lavery's you were fucking gigging it? You know what I mean?
Oh fuck! I remember going to Lavery's with McAleavey and stuff, and thinking, and it was June, and thinking, fuck, boy, we've got our 2 years of this, like,
yeah, that's
to get to, and
that's
then
the same thing I thought as well.
the day, I mean, how many times did you, like, I wouldn't say annoyed Colin, like, but I messaged a few times.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times, like, I messaged him and kept deleting the message and sent it again, like.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Fuck.
so I, like, would send him it, he would see it, but then I would text him, like, 3 months later, being like, yo, I'm fucking giving away trade secrets here, pester comedians.
Yeah.
But, and then, like, 3 months later, I'd be like, yo, man, just chance on my arm here, see what the crack is, and, then again, one time I think after your gig,
Yeah.
first time you did it, I texted him again like a month later and was like, "Oh man, can I just chance my arm here for any cancellations or open spots or whatever?" And he just was like, "Oh, I fucking this Thursday, do you?" And I went, "This Thursday?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought it was gonna be like where like some like the boiler room. He's like, "Oh, I can put you down for 2026."
Yeah.
Like.
I think the thing to do is like you need to sort of be like at the start of every month I'll send out messages to everyone. I'll just say, "Listen, do you have a gig?" So even if that's my sort of policy. Like once a month, that's not annoying you. Like
exactly.
But I think Geddes, I mailed him and then I was like,
how many open micers are fucking
yeah.
Geddes, let me do fucking 10-minute set, and he's you're like, you've done the PAV once,
I'm just kind of like, right, if it happens, it happens, and I'm like, I can say I've done Lavery's twice now, and 4 different nights,
that's
and I'm fucking buzzing with that.
Like that's what I mean. You've done. I was lucky enough to get an open spot in it. You know what I mean? Whereas you did both nights, both times. So
it was fucking first. It's weird. Both times I've done it, or I've had one night where I came off, being like, fucking right, that was class, and then the night I've come off and been like, I hated that.
Yeah.
So it's just
the last time I seen you did quite well at it, and I can't remember if that was the first or second night, but you did. You were like killing it. It was that night Butler came up to us.
Yeah. That was my favorite one.
Yeah,
like
that was. I remember whenever you came off, I was like, that thing Pete does whenever you roof it. Pete will like look up to you and he'll be all, "You enjoyed that, didn't you?" And you go, "Fucking, I hate myself. I hate everyone around me." He does that thing to me every time.
I'm quite awkward when people are like, "Oh, well done." I'm like, "Right, cheers, thanks."
No, but he doesn't do like the, "Man, that was class." Like he doesn't give you like a genuine compliment. He'll go, "You loved that, didn't you?" And you're all, "Why are you saying that to me?" Like
you're thinking about it for the next week.
Yeah, like after that last Yo magazine one, like I did quite well at that, and I was buzzed. I came off stage and I was like, "Fucking, I was class." I was like, "This is the first time I've done this since like the last time where it was rough as hell."
It's just a completely different gig now.
Yeah,
like it was. Chico was there for the last one.
Yeah.
The October one, and I rang into work sick the day after, and I was like that disappointed by how it went.
Yeah.
And then obviously don't take things personally, but also I took it entirely personally.
Yeah.
And then
I remember Ciaran just saying to me like 2 or 3 days later, "I had to take the day off work after that, man."
I was saying, I'm not going into work here, like. And then Saul sort of was saying to me, the guy who runs Yo, was like, "We've got a new room for it. We didn't sell enough to run it in November."
Yeah.
And then we're like, right, we'll have one more go at this in December, and the December one was lethal.
Mm-hmm.
I'd done better in the December one than I done in the January one, because I'd done old material, like tried and tested. Well, then in January I went in and straight away done new stuff, like.
Yeah.
So, and MC, and I should have talked to the crowd more, but then that's all part of it.
And they were like a class crowd, but I didn't feel they were a crowd you could have talked to.
Yeah, there's some like no one that was younger than 30, I thought as well, but like I think that with obviously with Paddy Raff on the next one,
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to get an older crowd, maybe more. Oh, speak to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why Mickey
yeah.
Mouse is coming, but like,
Oh!
hey, ask me what I do for a living, and he's shooting. But
Mouse Catul!
I remember doing improv. Fucking shoot me now. I done an improv class before I done stand up because my mum and dad were like, "Do you want to do like my mum?" I finished university. My mum was like, "Right, why don't you do improv?" Because no gigs were running, so I was like, "I'll do this here." And then I done the level 1, really enjoyed it. Me, Ronan Linsky, Kaylee Ray Minogue, and Laura Conlon all done it together.
Yeah.
And Paul Mung taught it. And then later on, we went.
You're one of them.
It was the improv. I've basically done it to learn how to sort of, what I'm not doing now, slow down when I talk and stuff. And then I done the level 2. And then on the level 2, one of the sketches, I done a Mickey Mouse voice.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny. And then one of the other guys there was like, I ain't gonna do that. And in every improv sketch for the rest of the next 3 weeks, he just done the Mickey Mouse voice.
Do you know what that's kind of like? That's, you know, like when Michael Scott. Have you ever watched The Office?
Yeah.
And Michael Scott keeps going, "I have a gun," like, and he like goes, and they're like, "Right, no more having a gun," and like he like whispers into the guy's ear, and he's like, and like the guy goes, and he, "What did he say to you?" He says he has a gun. Like, it's funny. Like I couldn't even imagine going to an improv. Like, I don't think I have it in me. I don't know why.
really enjoyed it, and then we done the show. When we done the sort of shows, I remember like it was always around the Sunday night where I was sort of not seeing someone, but like I was always being melted, like, and I always sort of through my head I always associate it with that time period.
Oh yeah, I get you.
So yeah, I just kind of couldn't go back to it. I can't go back, but I just didn't really. And then stand up sort of became the main priority, and just focusing entirely on stand up. Like,
I know. I don't think I could do it with like people I don't know. I think if we all did one, I think I could do it a bit better because we're all sort of comfortable with each other and all. But like, I think like showing up to not knowing anyone and all, I think I'd fucking shit myself, you know.
I did definitely enjoy it, but around the time I remember thinking like, I done it, and then I was like, fuck, you know what I'd love to be doing instead right now, but like stand up, I'd love to be like right to stand up and stuff. And I found when you do improv and you all get a laugh, it's like everyone helped build this well, and this is just so narcissistic. When you do stand up and you get a laugh, you've earned it yourself.
You know, that's
like,
my I'm fucking funny. That's like, you know.
Yeah, and like it's like the first sort of time, like 3 or 4 times we done like say the Pav or whatever like out there, I felt like you earned this. Well, improv, I'm always like, well, that guy carried me to this line and stuff.
Exactly. I don't know. It literally wasn't for about 6 months. I didn't feel like good about stand up. It was like going to gigs and going, oh, if I even did well. The only time I did well within the first 6 months was in the Sunflower. That was the only place where I didn't like die on the hole. You know, see if I like a good gig back then was like a terrible gig now, you know, that was like the difference. So, but like you came straight out the gate getting laughs, you know what I mean? So that was like the difference. Like that was like, that's why, you know, I'm 2022 Pavilion's most improved comedian.
With the Broken Award.
With the Broken Award.
I feel like a lot of it as well, sort of like, because like in October and midway through September, no, not midway through, October 2022, when we recorded the last podcast here, I was hating stand-up, like,
were you?
That whole month, I couldn't get a good gig. Every time I done a gig, we done Kiwis.
Yeah.
Or I done Kiwis, and I remember, like, feeling like I died on it, came home and was like, right, and the second Yo gig happened. One of the worst gigs ever. Then I tried MCing for the first time, one of my worst gigs ever.
What was that?
In Chicken Box.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just got 2 or 3 new bits to land, and I remember I done that. It wasn't a support slot for Paddy because he didn't book me, but it was like a gig Paddy was headlining, and then I got to open it. And I remember doing that and sort of being like, right, I got a bit of mojo back about it here. And then I done another Kill Your Darlings, and 2 new bits landed, and I started to enjoy it again. But anytime someone says, oh, what's the hardest part of doing, what was the few of the hardest month? I think because it was straight off the back of Speakeasy. That's and me and Sean and Pete done the show, and we had all our friends and family there, so obviously they were laughing, and I thought, oh, this is class. And then October, I just remember thinking, I'm crap at this. Like,
that's my December was like that. Just literally December past there was like every gig was just fucking down on the hole, and it wasn't even like I realised after it was rowdy crowds during December, so I wasn't really kicking myself too hard about it.
See, I really enjoyed December, but then like
you had a class December, like so.
And good, also like December rowdy crowds was a good experience as well, and I kind of avoided too many mental gigs, like apart from like the Bellevue was the 18th of November, so it wasn't too bad, like.
Yeah. And then you had some weird experiences with just comedians being mental as well, so we'll not get into it, but that shit that was weird, like. But I don't know, December for me was like every gig was just they'll tell you they were fucking at them, like rowdy as hell. Everything. When did we do Dundonald?
Dundonald, yeah, Dundonald was the last Sunday of November.
Yeah,
because then we went to the.
That was the beginning of it. That was where I was like, you know,
you done the best out of any of us in Dundonald that night, like.
It was all crowd work though, you know, which I'm not terrible at. You know, like I just seem to have a half decent crowd work.
You're very quick at coming up to, oh, you look like this cunt, or you look like this.
Blame these fucking cunts as tortured the life out of me for years. I'm sitting here like stressed, trying to think of ways to slag them, you know. So yeah, it's mental, but
yeah, that Dundonald gig was fucking hard work, like.
Yeah, and we were warned about it as well.
Yeah.
We were told about it.
Dave Elliott, Sean McAleavey, Aaron Butler all said it's gonna be shit. Yeah. Like, what do these guys know? What do these 15 years in the game guys
What does
know?
Sean Haggerty, who's done every bar in every county?
Sean Haggerty, who like I booked Sean 3 times to do like one of the gigs that I run.
Yeah.
The first one was the second Yo.
Yeah.
The second one was the Students' Union, which they just keep cancelling it. The uni. And the third one is Bellevue this Sunday, like, and I'm hoping that Bellevue this Sunday's class to be like, thank you for all the gigs you've given me. Like.
I mean. He's handy that way, and he asked me to edit his podcast, but just ours didn't work.
Yeah.
Like he was asking me to like he needs someone to be in the room with him, you know, the way like Chico would be here with us.
Yeah.
He needs a producer and an editor, and I was like, bro, I work 40 hours a week. Like I can't, you know.
You work 40 hours?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was like, I can't be, you know. And that's why I'm a bit tired all the time, you know what I mean? I'm like 40 hours a week, then showing up to other people's gigs. I'm doing my own gigs. Then I've started taking on like posters and editing clips for people.
Jesus, yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, I haven't slept in 4 years, you know?
Yeah, fuck, I didn't realise that. Yeah, you got to balance the relationship as well.
That's in the girlfriend as well, which I sort of make work anyway, but yeah, these ones are going to strangle the life out of me soon. Like, fucking.
Oh, do you not see him anymore?
Who is he?
Yeah, fucking. Am I interrupting like Friday night drinks? We used to get on the drink after this.
Probably. I was thinking about it actually. So
yeah.
All them bottles behind you.
Yeah, they need to be wired into.
Bought them yesterday.
Next podcast, it's just going to be empty.
This wee barrel as well. It says Upper Ra on it. You notice that?
Last night I wanted to go to a fucking don't drink by yourself. But last night I just fancied a glass of wine to watch a film to be like, it's Friday tomorrow.
What is this why you said then? What fucking streaming sites can I watch on?
What streaming sites can I watch a film on?
Netflix is there, man.
I found 4OD, actually, there's quite a lot on it. Watch Catch Me If You Can, but I was like, fuck, I love a bottle of wine. Couldn't find fucking anything at all.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the dodgy one you use? OpenLoad. They use
OpenLoad? I'll take that down later on.
Yeah, it's if you're alright when you're watching like a movie, it's just porn the whole way around it like that.
It's not even.
It has just something to do after.
Kill fucking two birds with one stone here, you know.
Exactly.
My current house, you can't get porn. You can't get porn because there's like a Wi-Fi block.
Yep.
Not that I've been.
Same here.
Is it in this house?
Does yours do it where like after 12 it lets you? Either that or my dad is turning it off after 12.
Who are you with, Virgin Media?
Sky.
Fuck, I'm Virgin Media.
After 12 o'clock
I'm
at night.
Virgin as well.
You are
like,
fucking
you go
Virgin.
Incognito, I can get on, like, you can look at pictures, like, right? Let me show, but
Man, I don't know, you probably already are, but the cheat code to life, Twitter.
Yeah, we're on that, yeah.
If we open up Twitter, man, fuck it.
Not that I watch porn. But
I know.
Do you ever go on Tinder?
He just walks out.
No, I don't do that. I don't masturbate, I just,
You just look at it for a while.
Yeah, I just save natural energy.
It dissolves inside him.
The act of masturbation is disgusting.
It's a sin.
Yeah,
I will not have it in this house
I'm
until after 12.
I'm celibate. Because like, you can get on and you can look at photos and I'm kind of, what the fuck am I doing? So I'm like, right, what am I doing? Let's try and meet another human being and establish a connection. And then
Straight on Tinder.
I go on Tinder and they're like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, fuck this. What are you asking me about my feelings?
Mate, are they popping up to you? That's what I want to know.
No, I was kind of.
Kieran left out the part where he's hitting them with fucking shot up lines.
I was kind of seeing someone around December.
Oh, were you?
And then she came to the Yo magazine gig and it was absolutely lovely and all.
Yeah.
And then for some reason I was just kind of like,
you done with it, right?
nah, I don't know what was wrong. And then like, and then I was like, and I went,
Toxic
right,
boys for life,
I
bro.
decided, no, I decided, right, I'll keep the conversation going and all.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like died out naturally. And I was thinking in January, like, what did I thought I'd just speak to this person again. I checked and they blocked me and I was like you're a fucking moron, Kieran. You let these things die, like.
There was a girl I used to text every time I would break up with my girlfriend or like any other girl, you know, like I'd be like talking to a girl for like months and then I would cut them off or break up with them or whatever, and I would go back to this one specific girl just to like, you know, be like, oh, let's do something. And I like every time I sort of, these know who it is.
I want to say the initials, but I can't.
No,
it's
don't.
Too obvious.
It's too obvious. And every time there's a fucking, I'm going to hell for this, if anything. Like I would text her and be like, oh, do you want to meet up this weekend? And she'd be like, yeah. And then it would hit Saturday, and she'd be all, oh, where are we meeting? And I'd be like sitting with my girlfriend, like, fuck. Me, I'm sorry, like.
The worst I've done with that was she's text going to take it. It was England were playing France. Yeah. I was in Kill Your Darlings. You were there with me.
Was that recently? Yeah.
Yeah. And William was on stage, and then I got a text in. I take it you forgot that we were meeting up today, and I text, you're not going to believe this, my wee brother broke his foot down in Dublin. I'm on my way down to collect him. And I was like, what the fuck did I say that for? Like, oh, holy. And then I got back to my parents, had a curry and had a pint, and was like, fuck,
shit yourself.
I should have just gone out. Like, it would have been good crack. Like, and that's just me being a fucking insecure person and being a moron at times. Like, that's what it all comes down to. Massively insecure.
Here, listen, every girl watching this right now went fucking mental when you said that. Like, they cheered, like fucking, like when Andrew Tate got fucking arrested. But
like, no, yeah, because like and then anytime like you I remember like you speak this about your feelings and all, and they're like, this guy's mental.
I can't imagine what your pillow talks like.
Fuck.
Your pillow talks like fucking.
My pillow talks normally.
Bottom of the bed talks more like it.
Kieran just
turn the other side.
Kieran sleeps on the couch and mumbles to himself. That's his pillow talk.
Pillow talks turn the other side.
He sleeps upside down. He's at the bottom of the bed.
He sleeps at the
tops and tails. Yeah.
Sleeps at the bottom of the bed like a dog and just mumbles like fucking sweet nothings.
It's when they're like, oh, I enjoy that. I'm like.
Kieran's like, why did you enjoy that? And they're like, they're already packing their stuff. Like,
I've never, because like I never really had a serious relationship, like, so.
Oh really?
It's just kind of.
I was 5 years deep one time.
5 years?
5 years, wild.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was wild.
Sorry, Mum.
It's just, they told me after 1 month, you need to get rid of this, and I was like,
get out of there,
I was like, no. After 2 years, I was like, I hate this. I hate this all the time. Why am I hating this? You know. So no, but I think I am a relationship guy. The single life wasn't for me.
I couldn't tell you. And I know my mum is like, anytime I do sort of like, it hasn't worked out. My mum is always pro me, which is really bad.
Oh really? Oh, she's like, an enabler, is she? My
mum's like, well, you were too good for them, weren't you? And I'm like, for once, I want you to turn around and be like, no, you weren't too good for me. You're a fucking loser.
Your mum's a yes man.
Yes,
a yes mum.
A yes mum. Yeah,
she's a yes mum.
Yes mum. Like
my mum always goes like, you know. They clearly had their own issues. And all, I'm like, well, I want to be with this person. You don't insult them. Punch in the drywall. Yeah.
3 tins of Monster lined up beside his bed.
She always uses this. That's a classic Louise Franco line.
Louise Franco. That's her name.
This is a classic,
not a stage name.
This is a classic line, and I've just forgotten it. I just don't want to see you getting hurt again. That's her classic.
That's so cute.
One in the chamber. I just don't want to see you get hurt again.
She's just so sick of it happening now that she's just like, I just don't want to see you get hurt again, Kieran.
Yeah, she says that, and Kieran does the Breaking Bad scene. I am the one who knocks.
I remember,
you think of that of me? You think I'm the one getting hurt?
The first sort of person that I kind of got upset about when I was like able to drink.
Yeah.
Like, she put up another Snapchat of her. She's like, oh, I can't go out tonight. I think we're just better off friends. I was like, oh, happy days, no worries. I'm happy to be friends. She put up like a Snapchat of her and another fella who she'd been like kind of flirting with on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. And he was sort of a fella there was history with, and we were in a bar. My mate was in the barman with, so I kept going up to my mate and being, I think you need to tell the bouncers that boy's been fucking sniffing and shooting and all. And like, it's like, you need to get him out and all. Sniffing and shooting. And like, she was like, Kieran, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and then so I ended up like, she just left, and then she was like, there was nothing going on with me and that fella, and she went and like, basically, I was only 18 at the time, and she was like, basically just said like, listen, this isn't like working out now. Yeah, no worries, but I'm happy to still be friends. And then that night she uploaded him and her out, and in my head I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna get drunk here, listen to Johnny Cash hurt. I feel like a man. So like I remember like pouring for a bottle of, what do you call it, coconut rum.
Oh, Malibu.
Malibu.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm a man. And then, like,
In his wee pina colada glass. He's like, fuck
The
that
wee umbrella.
bitch.
yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Picking his teeth with it.
Like this is what men do, like drinking by themselves, listening to the theme song, The True Detective. And then I then woke up the next morning and I went downstairs. My dad went, "You fucking disgust me." I was like, "What happened?" Apparently in the middle of the night I'd woken up my brother like steaming, blocked, and I just pissed in his laundry basket, and I went to bed.
Just you pissing in the corner of his room like, I hurt myself today.
That's what I didn't really know how to not process emotions, but I used to like upset quite easily or angry. So my dad was like, "Get a grip," and I went, "Get a grip," and I just turned around and put it at the kitchen door, and I was like, "How's that for a grip?" And I remember thinking like, "Oh shit." And then I kind of like calmed down, came downstairs 2 hours later to apologise. Yeah. And there was a cheese toastie sitting there, and I figured my ma's made me a cheese toastie to say let bygones be bygones. So I started eating it, and she was like, "That didn't belong to you, you fucking..."
You're just fucking having the roughest night ever.
Yeah.
You meet Ciaran and you think he's going to be like this nice wee sweet guy, and you think he's the most innocent person ever, and he's a fucking demon. Like
that person in the story, she was at the New Year's Eve gig, and we were
oh really, in Black Box?
Like, yeah, and I was kind of like, "Oh listen, I'm gonna be doing a gig in the Black Box." And
yeah.
She came to the wrong one. She went to the fucking 12 o'clock one. I was on for 8 o'clock.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, that's funny. I'm glad like no one I like really know everyone, because everyone's from like down here. Everyone's from like Lurgan or Portadown that I've sort of been with.
Yeah.
Like Abby's is like the first one outside of any of that, you know, and she like. So I don't really run into a lot of them, you know.
Yeah.
I ran into the 5-year one's sister the other day. It was weird as fuck because they look like twins. It's wild. She's gonna fucking text me about this because I know she fucking listens to it.
Just the love. I don't know why you're Russian. Why you're trying to take over Nakatomi Plaza. But,
I don't know why I've just killed John Wick's dog.
Yeah. I don't. We've come a long way from Pete Giffen's question.
I know. Well, it started with fucking Mario 64.
Yeah.
Iceberg theories.
You took a mushroom and now we're flying.
And we both use crying.
No, I just will move on to another question after this. But the worst one I ever done was my like current girlfriend. Right before her, I was like seeing this other girl, but just I'm sorry I'm saying this out loud because she probably listens to it too. I don't know who listens to this. Who's buying tickets? That's all I want to know, you know. And she texted me, or like I was seeing her out of boredom, out of like, you know, when you're single and you're on Tinder and you're like, I'll take anything I can get. And we were going on dates and all, and these guys and her, and we were out one night. She fucking lost her phone. I was like, oh, and she got like too drunk around my friends, and I was like, we're not that close where you can get too drunk around my friends.
Fucking took my phone.
Yeah. And she was like one night. This is probably the first she's going to hear about this as well. But she like we were meant to stay in a hotel the next night. It was like a Saturday night. I was off the Monday. It was like a bank holiday Monday.
Yeah.
I was meant to stay in the hotel with her on the Sunday night, and the like coming up to it. We went out for a drink and we were like, we'll get the last train home to Craigavon again at 11 o'clock, and the next day I was supposed to go to the hotel with her. Yeah. And we went out to Belfast, and our friends were all out, and Abby was one of them people. Is how like basically I'd met Abby a few times before this, but hadn't really like tried anything, but she sort of knew that I was like,
you got the feelings.
Yeah.
And your feelings.
And Abby turns around to me, and me and Liam were just standing there, and Abby turned around to me and goes, "Don't go home." And I was like, okay, like just straight like fucking like
cancel that phone, a cap.
And like the rest of our mates went back to like the train station, and me and Liam stayed, and I was like, thank you, brother, you know, like Liam took one for the team, like, but and Abby,
I was down for one reasons too, like
facts, like it's not like you did shit that night, you know what I mean, but and then ended up getting with Abby that night, and the next day I texted your girl like I was calling in sick to work. I was like, listen, I got tonsillitis here. I'm not able to make it into this. We're not going to this hotel, like, you know.
Raw broke his leg down and double.
Before this goes, I have one last like fucking.
Oh yeah.
I do remember.
That was great content, man.
I do remember, yeah, and like it was like Valentine's Day 2016, so I was like 17. We were in a club, like there was 5 of us, and one of my mates was kind of third wheeling, and there was 4 people in the taxi. And I with it one, it's like I've got a free here, like so we were like going to get in the taxi, and the girl I was like, oh, you need to get Nathan back and all. So that like all 5 of us can come back, and we're in limelight, and I kind of pulled him aside, you know, like Bane and Batman. No, brother. They
They need to find one body.
Yeah, I said, take off our team, pal. Go get another drink and lemonade. And he went back to the bar and said to her, he was like, she was like, "Yeah, I'll come back for the afters." And he went, "No, I'm meeting a mate here." But the bar closes in an hour. And he went, "I'm meeting a mate." I just went and stood at the bar for 20 minutes.
Listen, we all need mates like that. Yeah, I don't have any. I'm usually that mate. There was one time, this is again the last one we'll talk about, but one time, oh fuck, Abby's gonna stab me in the face if she uses it. But it was way before Abby, fucker. Love you. She, like, we were like out and randomly met up with these like Irish girls, very pretty girls, way out of our league kind of thing. You know, one of them's like a model, and remember male girls, and the like.
Oh, I know.
That night we like they were all us why don't like we were all we're gonna have to get a taxi home, and they were like, sure, we've got like a B&B around the corner, you can stay with us. There's like 30 of us in a room. It was fucking mental. And there was this one girl who had been flirting with me the whole night, and it was like post 5-year breakup for me, so I was like fucking getting attention's wild for it, you're like, I was like, oh shit, I don't know what this feels like to like have a girl flirt with me, and you know where this is going. And the girl was like flirting with me and all, like talking to me, and she was sat beside me in the taxi and all. We went back to the hotel or their B&B, and me and Chico were standing outside talking to some Dutch guy who was just Chico was like, do you know what this word means in Dutch? And the guy was Dutch, so he knew what the fuck it meant. And I went back upstairs, and our mate, and that's his name, was just lying with the girl, like in the bed, or like on the floor on like a mattress that she was sleeping on. And I was raging. And that night I sat in the corner of the room, and he booked her. So I was like, I was sitting there.
See,
like,
when you say B&B, I cannot get. I know Airbnbs are fancy, but in my head I imagine B&B as wee cottage.
no, it was like,
It was like a second story cottage.
yeah, like an apartment in like the Holy Lands kind of thing.
Yeah, because my mates say, "Oh, let's get a B&B in Spain." I imagine we're going to a cottage in Donegal. Like,
You imagine like we ivy up the wall and all.
yeah,
like,
my mates say, "Let's get
we pie on the windowsill with the fucking
let's
steam.
get an Airbnb in fucking Barcelona." And imagine, right, we're getting turf for it or something.
Everything's fucking wood. Like.
Yeah.
But,
Did you not get a wee rose for that girl as well? From
Yeah,
the
right. Thanks for reminding me of
Romanian
that, Chico. Fuck's
What
sake.
is it? A bouquet?
Like, I was putting in graft, like I was working for that as well. Like after, like I got a wee bit of a vibe to be like, oh, she's interested here. The fucking like I like the way people stand outside like on the it's the Dublin Road, like all the wee women, all the wee Romanians going, you want to buy flour? I went fucking guess what? Fucking give her like a fiver. Turned around and I was like to the girl, oh, here's some flowers. Thinking, because I was just post breakup, I didn't know you're supposed to be dickheads to girls. That's the only way. I thought you have to be nice to girls, and the girl like was like, oh, thank you, fuck my mate. So that's me opening up a wee bit too much on the podcast. So.
Just to backtrack at the risk, I'm a massive loser. Just in case this podcast goes on the Andrew Tate sound and stuff. Because like there's
he heard me say treat them like shit, and he went, no, we can't be like promoting that shit.
Because like we learn about the sort of dangers of Andrew Tate and work. Like you know there's something bad when kids are putting Hustlers University on their UCAS forms. Like it's
like written on their school bag in Sharpie.
Yeah,
Nike. Hustler's ambition, fucking.
It's like I said to the kids, like I'm like, you do really like they always ask me, I brought in a bottle of sparkling water the other day, and they all asked me,
sparkling water.
Yeah, they're like, are you a top G and stuff? And I was like, what does that mean? And they were explaining it's like Andrew Tate and all. And you realize he got arrested for sex trafficking. Do you know what that is? And like, is it where you have like sex on a zebra crossing? And I was like, no, not really, but close enough.
It is mad though, that whole Andrew Tate thing. But
we have to like properly desensitize, like, because like when kids are like. So the way some of the young lads talk on the school, I'm like, Jesus Christ, lad, you need to fucking wire
like,
that in.
I don't feel like we had any like sort of people, or like only like
Dan Bilzerian people look.
Yeah, but nobody like he wasn't out like talking like that. He only like recently started like in the last few years. Like started coming out being like, oh, this is how I get on. It was always like just photos and videos of him like with women around, and that was like. That's like any like wee lad's dream, you know what I mean? So like growing up with that, my dream. But like
I always remember like being like, oh, that guy's cool, and then reading he was in the American military, and be like, nah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it wasn't like a real influence on us, we didn't grow up being like, this is what way you have to think. It was like you just fucking like it was like Eminem was like our fucking influences, where like how did you deal with women? You fucking stuff them in the truck of your car, fucking,
I used to. I try and keep my head. It would have been like I was growing up. It was like comedy and that stuff. It would have been a lot of comedians and stuff like Norm Macdonald and all. And
oh yeah,
like,
I love Norm.
Even like years before that, there.
You must be one of them gays, huh? I don't know.
See, yeah, I got a lot of like. What was I into music wise like growing up?
Johnny Cash.
Sound like Sean McAleavey here. I can't think of anyone. No, I love like the
Skrillex.
Skrillex, yeah, the Who and stuff like that. So it's like and then kind of fan music.
Yeah, see, I grew up listening to like a lot of rap music. I listened to some weird rap music like Tac 9 and Hobson.
Yeah.
So like I get where my influences were coming from, where it was like Hobson being like, women are bitches, they'll break your heart, you know, like.
I'm always wary on podcasts of coming across like Liam Payne.
Yeah.
After that interview about Will Smith, where he just talks absolute nonsense.
I know, fucking like,
Yeah.
user hectic, you know what I mean? You say whatever you want on here, but like I was like, I went from like Hobson that was like, you know, oh, I hate women because women broke my heart. My wife said I hit her, and you know, like she took my child to like Australia with her, and I don't get to see my kid now. And then like it went to like Mac Miller, who was like wrote a whole album about how much he loved Ariana Grande.
I love Mac Miller. Actually, Mac Miller would have been one I grew up with. Kid Cudi would have been the main one. And then Kid Cudi's kind of a melter on Twitter.
I unfollowed him ages ago.
Yeah, he's too sort of peace and love and harmony.
I was like, right, we get it. Like, you're a fucking Kurt Cobain fan. Take the cardigan off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
he plays too much that. Where he comes at the start of all his tunes. Like.
He did it like in 2010 to like 2015, and you were like, fuck, that humming's class. And then like once he found out people liked it, it's like too much now, you know?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
and obviously Kanye was the main guy until he said the things that he shouldn't have said, and now I have no time for him.
I didn't give a fuck about Kanye, but I loved his music growing up.
Yeah.
So like my first ever CD I ever bought was a Kanye West. It was Graduation.
Yeah.
The one where was it Graduation actually? It was the one with like Stronger and Homecoming
Yeah, it
and
was
all.
Graduation. So.
Yeah. So that was like the first ever CD I bought.
Which
that
it's one of them albums where every single song on it's a banger.
Yeah.
There's nothing misses.
That and like fucking like Michael Jackson greatest hits, you know. Like, and then like it went to like I remember whenever I was 11 getting ID'd.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to. I was in H&M. It was when H&M used to be in Rushmere, and went in to buy a Eminem poster and a D12 CD, and I was like 10 or 11, and they wouldn't let me buy it because
D12?
yeah, like because it was like 15 plus or something. You know where the Americans have like
Yeah,
a different like reason on, but it was really weird.
I remember I like really loving fucking Eminem. My uncle showed me, and my uncle used to take me out in his car when I was like 6 or 7 and show me Eminem. And like that's kind of how I got into hip hop, and then I would listen to Dr. Dre and stuff, and then that really developed in sort of third year of school with like NWA and stuff.
My mum showed me 8 Mile when I was 8 years old. She was all, do you know? She was like, do you know who that is? And I was all, who? And she was all, Eminem. You're gonna love him. And I was like, right, okay. It was 8. I remember we lived in Craigavon at the time, and she was like,
it's not Craigavon?
Yeah, but like I moved into Lurgan for a while.
Oh right, yeah.
We moved into like a middle class estate in Lurgan, and my ma hated it because like the neighbours kept shouting at my ma for like drinking at the weekends and all. And then one day we looked out the front window, and one of the neighbours was out cutting his grass with scissors. And we went, we need out of here. We need to fucking ring the landlord. Fuck, I sell this house. We're out, you know, like. So yeah, that was wild. But 8 years old. I was like, she showed me. It was the Just Lose It music video.
Yeah, I remember It Feels So Empty. With Baby. That was the one that I really got into, and then like because I remember we see Batman and Robin in the video with Dr. Dre's Batman. Yeah. I remember getting into that, and then I kind of went through not a hippie phase because it was like 16, like a real like sort of prog rock. Like Pink Floyd side. Yeah, fair enough. Then like all my mates would have been smoking grass, but I could never smoke it because then I would have been like more paranoid than Kanye. And then
you'd have been done in right now if you'd have been like fucking, you know, like Kramer on shouting the N-word on stage and all.
Looking back as well, they were smoking herbal, not grass, so it was like probably a lot worse. Like, and then that kind of I was like, right, I need to move on, and then like now like there was always sort of like an embarrassment almost at the time of that friend group to be like, this guy listens to things in the charts. Yeah. This guy listens to Dua Lipa. Get him cancelled.
Fucking gatekeepers, like.
And they like, oh fuck. I mean, I remember like they sort of gatekept a lot of music. Like if you listen to popular stuff, if you didn't listen to a band that had like more than 12 albums, you were a fucking weirdo. Yeah. And then
Jesus Christ, I was like growing up a bit though. Like yous would always love like all the World Star stuff. Like all my friends would like listen to all like the like. I don't even know how to explain
Hood
it. Like,
rich.
Who would you like listen to? And I like Tyler the Creator. I hated Tyler the Creator for ages, and then out of nowhere, just
like people who popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, like anyone that was like it seemed a bit like an industry plant. I hated them.
Fontaines DC, Tyler the Creator, and who else? Fontaines DC, Tyler the Creator, and Polo G are artist I got into to impress people, and I fucking love him. Like,
Really?
So,
Well, Polo G, I'd still, every time he drops a song, I'm like fucking...
Polo G, I got into to impress the kids in school and be down with them. Like.
Really?
No, Fontaine.
Kieran just doing the gritty in the playground, fucking grown man.
Get sturdy. No, for Fontaine's DC and Tyler the Creator were two people I got into to impress people, and I was like, now that I got into them, like, oh, these are actually the best.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, like, especially Fontaine's DC. Best band ever.
See, we got into the Tyler the Creator like years ago whenever we were skateboarding because he was like a wee skateboarder, you know. So we were like, oh, fucking rapper, skateboarder, this is class.
Yeah.
His music was shite, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to see that whole album, like, I fucking hate you and all on it. Like, that was,
yeah.
Like, see, looking back on that, like, it's so overhyped. A lot of his music now is fucking great. Like, you know, like, you listen to it and you're like, oh, he knows what he's at now. But back then, like, I remember thinking this is the best shit ever. Yonkers is terrible to listen to. Yonkers is...
I love it.
Really?
It's about memories, like...
As a piss tape.
I know, but like, don't get me wrong, he's a great rapper. Like, he has bars for days. Like, but see them beats and all back then, I'm listening to it and I'm like, how is this even like listenable music? You know, it's like just noise at this point.
He was like 18.
That's me getting kneecapped by all the fucking Tyler fans. That's me never
gigging
with Aaron McCann. Yeah, I know he's met him like 3 times, has he not?
Has he?
Well? Yeah,
fucking,
and one of the times.
And all, he's just the guy who's unbelievable good karma.
Yeah, you're the opposite of him. You're like evil Aaron McCann. You get put in every situation where you're a near death experience. That's
Ever since the last fucking podcast we've done, I've had fucking 4 near death experiences. Like, mad neighbour, fucking getting stuck in Dublin overnight. Getting
I'll not talk about it, but basically, Ciaran got stuck in a bus on the way home from Dublin. He just tell like briefly because I know you already talked about it in yours.
I basically fell asleep on the bus, and the bus is meant to go straight to Belfast, but the bus had engine problems, so we pulled into the airport, into the garage. Now, everyone off. We're jumping on another bus, but I didn't get off. And the driver just got off and left it, and I woke up like an hour later, like thinking, right, are we in the Europa here? And then I was like, no, we're not, I'm locked on the bus. So I actually had to ring the Garda and get them to come and get me off. And I was like, when's the next bus? And the woman was like, 5 in the morning. So I should have started cracking up. I was like, you're clearly feeling very sorry for yourself. And then
she was Welsh.
You didn't have a phone.
Yeah, and I remember I basically had to sleep on the bench in the airport. I got about 3 hours sleep. We're half day on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so I just went in and done the shift. I was like, it's 4 hours here. I can stay away for 4 more hours. Just bang coffee into me and managed to get through it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I would have slept through the whole day.
It was
on
when
that
you
bus.
he did a clip about it, but he like he was in the clip talking about it. He was running up and down the bus, hitting the fucking horn on it. And all.
The horn wouldn't work because obviously if I knew how to drive, it would mean that.
He was like head kicking it. And all.
Where's the fucking? So the last time I done this podcast, I was still working for the civil service.
Yeah.
And I fucking hated it. Like.
That was the day you quit as well. You literally just came into my car and you went, quit the civil service today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I quit that day. Like, I had like an Australian boss who always said, happy days, and like I'd be like, and then like I remember the meeting where she was like leaving and another girl was leaving, and she just goes, Brenda, she just didn't done the right thing, and she knew that her time he was up, and she gave us plenty of notice is the main thing, you know, she gave us 4 weeks notice, and it was like such subtle digs because I was like, I'm leaving today, and then she went, is really much, it was like 1 o'clock on the Friday, and she was like, is there really much point you being here? And I was like, what do you mean? She was, well, it's 1 o'clock on the Friday and you're not really going to do any work anyway. And then I went, no, and I went and done that gig with Paddy, and then that was like a kind of a bounce back gig, and I went, right, I felt a bit of mojo coming back here.
Yeah, maybe that's what you needed. You needed to like give yourself a bit of a kick up the hole for it, you know what I mean? Like quitting your job and all.
I think when we were doing that civil service job, I'm thinking like, if I don't get into something that I like, whether it's event running, or if I am stuck working here in this job, like, where everyone's like, looks like someone's got a case on the Monday, or I had the same conversation of having a beer tonight, thank God it's Friday.
You're all stuck.
Yeah.
Oh wow, there's terrible, like, isn't it?
Yeah, having the same conversation, like, here, tell you what, man, it's 2 weeks to Christmas. And then in the middle of October I was saying this and stuff, and then
it's no the one that gets me, there's a guy in my work every single day at like 12 o'clock, he'll go, what time's it now? Oh, I tell you, I could eat the beard of Moses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
I could eat the altar rails and mass, and you're like, what the yeah. And then like,
lunchtime,
where I work now, I sit by myself at lunch and I do all my admin work, the promoting the events and stuff, because there's not great signal. And then when I sit beside people, the staff are so much sounder. But also just, it's just a lot funner job, like, you know what I mean? Like they're just, they're at the same maturity level at me, so it's fucking hilarious, like.
I know.
But yeah.
Sorry, I just realised we have a few more questions
Yeah.
and we're hitting like 50 minutes, so
We'll fly for these then.
yeah, we'll just fucking. There's no real time limit on it anyway, but just in case you have anything to be out tonight or whatever. Well, you were saying about going out anyway, so. George Robinson asked 3 questions,
Okay.
and every one of them's a belter.
Okay, that's it.
I'll go by like ranking here. What's the last book you read?
The last book I read was The Sicilian by Mario Puzo.
Right.
Which
Are
is...
you a big reader then, or?
Yeah,
Alright.
I like a book.
Yeah.
I like a book. This guy can read. This guy's cultured. You know. This guy's got a GC. This guy isn't dyslexic.
You pretend she was dyslexic.
Sorry, Chico.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's kind of racist there.
Do you go to the
He's not
S&M
dyslexic,
store
he's
and
just-
end up with Marks and Spencer? No, but the last book I read was The Sicilian by Mario Puzo, which is like a kind of spin-off of The Godfather, where you get like 40 pages of Michael Corleone at the start, and then it just goes back in time.
My boss was like telling me today. She was like, I was reading this really good book last night. It's called How to Kill Your Family, and I was like, or like How to Get Away with Killing Your Family or something. I don't know what it was. I'm paraphrasing the fuck out of it. And I was like, by Chris Benoit?
Yeah, fucking hell.
And like she was like, yeah, and my son just walked in and all, and I was like, I bet he fucking shit himself when he seen you reading that.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I don't read it all. I literally last book I read, I was like 15. It was like fucking Hunger Games or something. I thought it was class. I thought it was real literary. Wearing glasses, didn't even need them. You know, like.
And yeah, I'm
We
currently
scarf
reading.
and all.
Currently, right now, reading the Legacy trilogy, which is like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah,
That stuff.
get you.
So that's what I'm reading now.
Right, alright, George. That's one
That's one.
question.
Let's get into the second one.
What? Right. Would you rather be on a lineup of all ventriloquists or magicians?
I feel like people hate ventriloquists a lot easier than they hate magicians.
Yeah, and I've seen good both ones. You know,
Yeah,
like I've seen
I'd rather
like
be on a line of all ventriloquists because magicians, I would probably talk to them.
yeah. Are we talking like open micers or like
The professionals. I just feel like if ventriloquists as well, I'd be that freaked out by them. And like, why did you in the 21st century choose to do this professionally?
Yeah.
That I wouldn't want to talk to them. So I feel like I could focus on my set. While if it's magicians, like I'd want to chat to them and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get that rabbit in your trousers?
How'd you make that rope longer, mate?
Fucking show me that. Show me. Is that real magic?
Show me that rabbit in your pocket.
Do you have Cadabra? And like, well, ventriloquists, I feel like I always should have that idea of like the Chucky doll in my head.
Yeah.
And because I used to be terrified of Furbies.
If
So
you're
kinda
walking about with a fucking doll, like, you know what I mean? You're
in my head, I'm just kind of like, nah, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, put me on the lineup with ventriloquists because I'd probably sit in my cubicle in the bathroom until I hear Adam Loughlin go, right, it's time for your next act.
Everybody, yes! That's how you MC. And your next act, yeah!
Yeah, I'd go with that.
That's everyone deaf, by the way. Thanks for everyone who's listening with headphones right now. Right, well, fuck that. I don't know.
We got a third question now from George.
Yeah, last question from George.
Okay.
My answer is neither. I'd cancel the gig. If you were on Mastermind, what would your specialist subject be?
The Sopranos season 4 to 5 or Succession. So there's only 3 seasons of it.
This is real autistic vibes, isn't
Or
it?
Tottenham Hotspur under the Mauricio Pochettino era. It would be one of those.
Mine would be Chelsea from the 90s. Haven't watched football since.
The films of the early films of Paul, like all films. The films of Paul Thomas Anderson, maybe as well,
Yeah.
or the music of Fontaine's DC, something like that there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like mine would be like Northern Irish comedians.
Yeah.
Fucking, like
The jokes of Pete Giffen would be.
how much does Pete talk about Nutty Crust?
Yeah.
Why was Mickey Bartlett kicked out of Belfast Giants?
It was like loads of stuff out there, but I feel like I was quite invested in Mauricio Pochettino when Tottenham when Mauricio Pochettino was the manager, so I feel like that would have been good for me to be like, actually, we beat Watford 5-0 on New Year's Day 2017, which we did.
Yeah, that's funny actually. I think mine would probably be like movie trivia. I'm really like in general, I would have quite an extensive knowledge of that, but fuck it. I'm boring as fuck, you know.
If you have to be specific, The Sopranos seasons 4 and 5, where it's at its pinnacle, would be what would be my.
Yeah.
Or Mad Men season 6 and 7.
He's just so niche.
Yeah.
Mad Men.
Mad Men is the creme. Like, I've eaten from a nice table of good TV shows. I don't eat on fast food like Power. This is Sopranos for Smicks.
Yeah, true. The Wire, fuck that. The last question we got, this one isn't from George, but it's a best gig to date. Do you remember your best gig?
Best gig recently was a tie between dailies, or I really enjoyed the Sunflower on Sunday there.
Yeah, you had a fucking blinder on the Sunflower.
Thank you very much, man.
I swear I was so raging. I came off and Chico was meant to be there. He slapped her out with a hangover. But and he's meant to be there vlogging it. And I came off and I wasn't overly happy with my set because I forgot one of the jokes that was meant to be in the middle and put it to the end, and it didn't land as hard as I thought it was going to be. But other than that, I had like a good set. But Ciaran went up, and from the second he went on to the second he came off, was just killing it the whole way through, and I was so raging. It was you and Ciaran Bartlett did that well.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. No, I just
Yeah.
and then I feel like I'm really enjoying it at the minute. I'm doing new stuff that I'm enjoying the new stuff.
Yeah.
And then now I'm out of ideas, and I'm like, right, let's fucking think of ideas. And like I was telling you on the way up about my mate and telling me in work about his cousin who goes, and I'm like, is there something in that? But I would also have to steal this guy's very personal story
Yeah.
and pretend it's mine for stand up, like. And you're always kind of like, you need to be wary of stuff like that there.
Yeah, it's hard to like get around that.
And-
Like I'll have something that like I'll have a joke that is specific to me,
Yeah.
but like someone will make like a comment on it, and I'll go, "Fuck, that's funny," you know, like.
There's a story that I love that I always remember where a smick Ord in school brought his ma's caramel squares in and asked me did I want to buy them, and I was like, no, I'm going to go to the Spar after school, and he grabbed me and like bust my nose open and went, take that as a lesson to support local. And like I always remember thinking there's a story in there somewhere that they didn't, like, and I remember, but then he went to Auschwitz recently and vlogged part of it.
Recently in 1943.
Yeah, like he was there, but I remember like he put up him by all the shoes. That, you know, like it was terrible when the Nazis took the shoes off the Jewish prisoners. But he put a photo of him up by the minute who's looking at her and all. It's like, yeah, and it's something about how he was told to put his cigarette out, and he's like, sure, there's no gas in here anymore, and I was kind of like,
all I imagine is the shoes is like fucking
people like him,
stock X.
people like him shouldn't be allowed in these sorts of places.
Yeah.
And then it's like people like, and then I want to go to the Anne Frank house, and I looked up people review the Anne Frank house, and I remember one of the reviews was like nowhere to get a fridge magnet, and I was like, yeah, and or one of the reviews was, don't go if you're on a lad's holiday. It's like, why would you go to the Anne Frank house? There's not going to be a go-kart track in our bedroom. Like,
That's what we did.
I know.
Boned out in
like,
front of our house.
there's no, the guy's review was like, it's just a house, really boring. And then it was
What were you
like,
expecting? Like
They
fucking
hit me.
like the Hard Rock Cafe in the middle of it.
there's
Fucking.
strippers in Anne's bedroom. Yeah, and I'm like, why the fuck would you? And it's just so disrespectful. Like, no one goes to the fucking famine exhibition and be like, fuck, I'd fancy a chippy after this. Like, and like, it's just like, then you go to fucking, what's the other one? Like, even I remember my granny said this, and it was just a mistake on Facebook, but she was at the 9/11 centre, and she put like, just landed. And I was like, change that fucking caption.
Holy fuck.
At the Titanic
It was
Museum, like that didn't go down well, did it?
Just landed straight into the sights, and I was like, you fucking want to change that? The best one that I found on the Anne Frank reviews, some guy reviewed it, and frankly that was shit.
Jesus Christ! Did you not tell me it was like someone taking a photo, like walking on like the?
Oh yeah, that I don't know. I remember a guy. What's his name? I'm gonna say me not being able to remember his name is good for my reputation that the guy doesn't punch me in the head. But him and his girlfriend, he put up a photo of her walking on train tracks, and it was like the caption, "Life's all about balance." I went, that's cute. Not on the train tracks at Auschwitz. Like, not on the train tracks.
I think Hitler actually said that.
Yeah.
It's all about
Balance.
balance.
You kill a few Jews here, a few gypsies here. It's like, yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's like, why are you doing it? Why do you feel the need to go and put up me and her? You know, you get the guys and they put up a photo of their girlfriend and they're hugging her like she's the fucking passenger seat in the car they're trying to reverse.
Yeah.
And they're like, and like they've got her like this here, yeah. And they're gonna try and reverse her, and he's like, they've been going with her for 2 weeks, but they're already on their first holiday. And he goes, first holiday away with a wee chick. Place was kind of grey. Could use somewhere to get a beer at Auschwitz.
I seen one the other week. It was a guy. He was real smacked out. He put up, best 3 years of my life.
Yeah.
Happy 18th birthday, babe. He was in his 20s. And I went,
Yeah.
I was like, you've been going out with her for 3 years and she just turned 18. Holy fuck, scumbag! Like, but yeah, no, that's
It's like place was so depressing, ruined our holiday. Why go then?
ruined our holiday.
Yeah. Why
Absolutely.
did you choose to go there then?
Absolutely killed my buzz. Like, was not great.
Yeah.
1 out of 5.
They gassed it up so much.
Yeah, that's fuck.
They gassed it up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Why can't I think of any more? Holy
Yeah,
fuck!
and I'm like, why do you need to fucking do this? Like, that. If we don't do room 101 on this, but that's my room 101. People who go to fucking sites of massive historical tragedy and they like, right, let's vlog. Like, hey, you're gonna get fucking giddy in Auschwitz. Like, right, guys, what up? We went to the death camp today.
What up, guys? This is an old
Bloody.
plantation. A few slaves used to live on here. I think it was the biggest one in America.
Yeah. Anyways, we decided to go and it was chilled vibes. You know, we sat in the cotton fields. We had a few drinks.
It was really
DJ
litty.
Cammy showed up.
Yeah, DJ got me shut up. Thought I'd spin a few decks in the old slave rooms.
I mean, like, it was his 45th birthday, so like.
Yeah, we got DJ Cammy on the decks. Yeah. They have a Scottish guy on their thing now, also called Cammy.
Really?
He's like a Scottish guy that was on like Scottish Love Island or some shit.
Blackheard.
Yeah, and he was, I'm fucking sick of, I don't know what accent doing it. I'm sick of people fucking slagging me, like. And I'm like, mate, you're asking for it. Yeah.
Alright, guys, here today we're at the site of Bloody Sunday.
We're at Free Dairy Corner where DJ Cammy's on the decks.
We've got
spinning
Lily
the sash.
Vibes. He's playing sicko mode right now.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Lily Vibes, he's playing In the Town I Love So Well by Luke Kelly.
He's thinking about spinning the sash in there.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are at the
He's
site.
gonna spin the sash in for peace. Here he goes.
Here we are at the site of Leoma bombing.
Yeah. He's DJing, he's playing the sash for peace.
We've got fucking DJ Finney up next. What was that fucking
Curtis Egger.
the fucking wee cunt, the wee rapper cunt, and he's always at the
Spencer?
he's always young Spencer. He's always got young Spencer at the side of Leoma bombing.
I
Fucking,
showed Chico's video earlier. He's fucking class.
he's fucking shite. Come on, young Spencer.
That's the whole
What
song.
is it with him like getting that one monotone fucking voice when they rap? They go, young Spencer.
I told you, I don't think I told these things about me hanging out with a kneecap. Like, I used to know one of them back in the day, like, from, like,
Two fellas.
yeah, years ago, like, Liam from them, like, but, like, just we would have seen each other at parties every now and then, and, like, maybe, like, twice, and he used to work in Madden's, and I remember last time I chatted to him before they became famous, he was working in Madden's, and I was just getting a pint, and he was, oh, do you remember me? And I went, yeah, how's the rap going? And he went, yeah, great. And I was at a Yo Magazine second birthday, and he was there, and I was sort of telling him, he was like, oh, I was like, fucking, you're selling out Falls Park, and you're doing this and this, and he went, what are you doing, the comedy? And I went, I was telling him I do comedy, and he went, what are you doing? I went, it's fucking 400-seater called the Pavilion. You know, it's fucking...
You wouldn't know it, bro.
Yeah. Real underground venue, you know?
Yeah, exclusive guest list on it.
Yeah, and like... he was
Ross
tell-
Mitchell.
Yeah, tell me all these venues he played and fucking festivals and all.
Was he speaking Irish?
And I couldn't, that's where I go. But then he went, like, you know where the conversation finishes and you're like, right, walk away, Ciaran. And I was just kind of sat there and I was like, walk away, but I couldn't figure it. I sort of went back to factory settings and I was like, she's still pulling pints then? And he was like, no, obviously not. Fucking
Man's headline the fella.
Yeah,
And you're like,
like-
you still on the bar and all? Like,
he's still working around the bar. I've just got, he's releasing a song with Fontaine's DC, best band ever, I know I've said that. And like,
do you like lemons or?
I stand. And now he's like, no, like, yeah, I'm this full time. I've been in New York touring and all. I'm like, oh, right, no worries. And I kind of stood beside him for a while and I'm gonna head on here and shake his hand. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Mondays, mate. Wow, what about it? Like fucking.
Like, I remember like the first time.
It's a happy day.
Even like fucking Wednesday, when we arrived at Lavery's,
Yeah.
His wife Marianne went, oh, how are you? Keeping all that? And I'd done this show. It's suspiciously warm out there these days, isn't it? Like, why are you fucking so weird?
I know. Oh man, I did the same thing. Because I was standing where me and you walked in, and Maureen walked past,
Yeah.
Colin Gass's wife, and it was the first time I've ever like met her in person. And she walked past me, and I was like, Maureen, right? And I was like, nice to meet you. I'm Justin. I was like, going smoothly. You know, I'm making a good impression on a very influential person in the Northern Irish comedy scene at the minute. And I was like, I was like, yeah, and she went, oh, I just got the bus in there, and I went, Colin Geddes' wife taking the bus, huh? What about that fucking? I was like, and she was all, yeah, and I was all, where from? She was all Dungan, and I was all, Colin Geddes' wife taking the bus from Dungan. I went, and then we went up.
Did you turn into Tim McGarry?
And I was like, ah, and she was all, you're like, I was like, fuck's sake. And like, we went upstairs, and I went into the green room for a bit, just until like it filled out, well, all the Bartletts, and I was like sitting there, and I was like, oh god, she fucking thinks I'm the weirdest cunt ever. She's never met me, never saw me do stand up. I'm sitting in the green room. I've just fucking slagged her for taking the bus. I was like, I hate my life right now. Why am I so fucking awkward? Like,
that's why I couldn't go in on Wednesday. I was like, if I go in here, say something fucking weird, like, or I'll trip over a word or something.
Yeah.
I'll it'll be on my mind for the next month. Like,
I think I walked in for the first thing. I went in the front door and went up like not the door like the people who bought tickets would go in, the like other door that like you would go up the other stairs.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and Gaddis and Dylan Osborne were there, and they were like doing a vlog or something. And Gaddis turned around to me and goes, "Get out!" And I was like, I looked over at him, he was laughing his head off, and I was all, fucking funny.
I couldn't. I remember like it was like Aaron Butler and Andrew Ryan and myself in the room, and they were talking about doing gigs in London.
Yeah.
And I just told some story like, my dad lives in London during the week, and they just kind of
like an autistic kid.
Yeah, it's like,
no social cues.
Can I say something? My daddy lives in London during the week, and I went back to silence, and it was like, then that was just it, and I was like, and then I went red, and then I remember the next day I popped up to Andrew and was like, hey, are you looking at any podcast guests? And he was like, I'm booked up for the next while. Thankfully he did.
He did.
Absolute legend. Like, but I remember thinking, you fucked it there, but my daddy lives in London, and then he was like, oh right, yeah, and then fucking hell, yeah.
My daddy lives in London.
And obviously Andrew's like been at it 15 years, longer, and basically like when I was going on stage at the Empire, he was like, oh, get the crowd down and calm you down and all. And I was like, oh, class, and he went, you're so nervous, like. And he was like, why are you shaking? And I was like, this is the Empire, like, you do this every other week. This is like,
this is the first time. Was that the first time you done it? You've only done it once. Second, fuck,
yeah.
No.
So I really enjoyed it a lot more the second time. Maybe it was closer to Christmas, and I kind of thought like that it would be right. This is, I kind of in my head had it that it would be a load of people doing the 12 pubs at Christmas. Yeah. So I would go out and it would just be heckling like fuck. Yeah. And I went out and I was just really, they were a lot calmer. Fair play to Andrew Ryan, who done exactly what he said. He was, I'm going to get them calm, because Paddy Ralph, and then Andrew went, I'll bring them down again, and then you can go out and do your bit. And I was like, fucking legend. Yeah. And then I do that bit where I sort of play a voicemail, and someone shout out, bastard! It's on stage, and it's like, it's just, here tonight.
Did someone actually shout that? Yeah.
Bastard, yeah. I was like, fuck.
Imagine it was like the girl from the voicemail.
Yeah, but yeah. That was that, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I'm still yet to do the Empire. I feel like I kill the Empire as well. Fucking, if it's not rowdy. If the room isn't rowdy, I usually do well, which is cocky to say, but it's just like, I'm not terrible, you know what I mean? Like, if the room's rowdy, that's when I do shit, because I lose them after that, which is terrible, because I go straight into fuck you, you know?
Yeah, I remember like there's been some gigs in my head, I'm so excited for this. Yeah. And then I eat shit, and I'm like,
Second Year Magazine.
that kind of, I was wary because of the room. Yeah. And then I'm like excited now for every Yo gig. Yeah. It's like, me and Saul want to do something cool with it.
Yeah. I got a load of followers off that as well. It was like fucking class, people tagging me and shit I've never seen before now. I was all unreal. So I was really thankful for you calling me in that gig. I basically went in last minute to, you know, cover in for Rory Woods, you know, so he got the next best thing, you know what I mean? It's cocky. I'm being cocky because I did well at that gig.
No.
If I had died my whole, I'd have been fucking raging there, like. But
you can run with it, sir.
Oh, aye. But yeah. Also, my best gig, what George was asking, was probably like either that was fucking glass, the third Sunflower I did, I remember like coming off being like, I'm fucking Bill Burr, like, you know, I'm killing this. I loved Lavery's. Like for my sake, like I loved Lavery's because it was like, Lavery's is set up in a way when you hear a laugh, it fucking roars at you, like the stage vibrates, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know.
Yeah, if I had to pick a favourite gig again, it would, I don't know, maybe the Empire Before Christmas. Yeah. That'll be up there, like, or again, I really enjoyed that Sunflower on Sunday, like.
Yeah, you fucking murdered that. I like the Balmoral Hotel one. No, you did the first one. It was a bit rugby.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. Enjoyed because I got on at a good time, like.
Yeah. Because I went on right after Brona Diamond,
Yeah.
who literally tore the room apart as usual. You know what she's like.
Yeah.
And I went up and it was just nice. And David Doherty Jeb introduced me by like slagging me.
Yeah.
So I was just standing at the side of the stage laughing my head off at it. And I think that sort of like let people, you know, they like everyone was like looking at me.
Take a slag.
Yeah, so I was like that. And then I went up and like a minute into my set, a guy heckled me. I started in and I was like, oh, my girlfriend's blah, blah, blah. Somebody goes, you're an ugly bastard. And I went, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was that? And I did the oil, you know. He shouted at me in ancient Egyptian. Everyone bust into tears laughing. Yeah, it was like fucking class. And then he turned around and I goes, which one was that? And he was like, he went quiet after that. And his mates were all pointing at him. And I went, Jesus fuck, of course it was the one with no fucking teeth. And like everyone was down laughing. And then he like laughed and he had no teeth. And I didn't know that. I went, oh shit, he actually doesn't.
Fuck yeah.
And then
I love you'll normally go for the cast of loose women in tonight, or someone's had a drink.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hand do you know? Yeah, no, there's some that you get away with every time, you know. I'll tell the jokes, mate, you know, like
yeah,
that.
I'll take from it. Cheers.
Yeah.
That's plenty. It's Pete's one. That's plenty.
Yeah. I know that's a good one as well. Who else has ones? Mickey has loads, you know, where like I've heard him say them millions of times, but I'm like they're still funny every time. I can't remember, but yeah.
Especially when Mickey plays venues like that Lisburn one, or not Lisburn, the Cookstown one, or the
Yeah.
Bellevue one. You know, it was mental. Like you need just to be come out and go, right, let's do this.
Yeah, that's how I heard Mickey talking about it in this podcast. Like that Cookstown one we did, Thirsty J's. The other, like the next one after us got cancelled. It was meant to be Paddy Roth and like Rachel McPeak, so that one got cancelled, which was kind of funny. But like when I was like, good fuck it, it was like the worst gig ever. Like Diona went on, roofed it, like absolutely blew the room apart.
Yeah.
And they were so attentive to her, they were listening to her. It was about 130 people in it. And then Sean was emceeing, Sean was killing, Sean was doing his wee, you know, the one in the chamber ones, you know, like the same shit every time. And was killing it. Then I went on after the break. My first half of my set, I was killing. Then it just out of nowhere, I started into like other material, and the crowd just looked at me as if like, what are you on about? And I was all, Jesus Christ, I've lost him. So I was meant to do 10. They came off after like 8 because I was like, this is Dan here. Like got one big laugh after, and I was like, right, I'm leaving on that. And then Mickey went on and had the worst gig. Like they were all so rowdy and unattentive to him, like completely just not even listening to him. People just talking to each other in the front row, you know. And Mickey just came off stage and literally walked past me and just walked out the back door because he got paid before.
With any
yeah, so he just literally walked out, and there was like our green room, which was like a fucking the manager's office, you know. There's cameras and all in it, but and Mickey just walked clean off stage, walked through the back, and just walked straight out the fire exit. The guy had told us, he was all, don't be using that back door, it's a fire exit. Mickey just straight out.
Straight like fucking hell.
And then whenever I like left, I went and thanked Sean, and I like left. And Mickey was still walking down the road, and he was hustling, like he was hauling ass to his car, like he was like, fuck this town, I'm out of here.
Yeah, fucking hell, man.
It was grim. That was a terrible gig. Then I did Kiwis as well at Christmas, and it was probably like, holy shit, the yous were at it. It was the rowdiest gig I've done to date, bar that like Dundonald one.
What, just
blocked.
You couldn't get any order in, or?
I couldn't, like literally there was like, I think Gary had said that he block booked the table of 80 who were all on a staff do from like 12 o'clock that day, and they were so rowdy. So I did the thing where I point someone out in the crowd, and like I will be a wee bit witty with him, you know, and I like pointed him out, and I was all the rowdiest one in the whole room. So I went, if I get his attention, the rest of them will fuck up, you know. And I went, I was like, what's your name, mate? And he was all, Murph. And I was all, of course your fucking name's Murph. And then I was like slagging him, and I turned around and he goes, and what do you do, Murph, you big fucking walking bottle of vape liquid? And like the crowd were laughing at that, and I got them for like a second, and then he started talking to his mates again while I was talking to him, and I went, right, well,
you can't win there. Like,
I was like, I tried doing the material again, and I went, fuck this, I'm way off here. And I was raging about that, but the guy who runs like the brewery in there couldn't have been more apologetic about it. Not Gary, but like he's the guy that runs like the actual like whatever's going on. Yeah, and the nicest guy in the world if he's listening to this, because he said that he listens to it. But if he's listening to it, whatever your name was, can't remember. It was genuinely one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He was sorting us out with food and all, and drinks. And
we got pizzas and all, and we done it.
Yeah, I could tell like that like, gig would be class if it wasn't like a fucking.
I done it in June. It was unbelievable. In October, I struggled a lot more.
Yeah. Jesus, it was so rowdy just, and I was like, fuck this. Paddy McGackie had a rough one that night. Jordan Robinson had a rough one. Mark McIarney left right after his set.
Seriously?
And then Rory Woods killed it. We were all raging. We were all, how the fuck did Rory Woods just kill that?
Just throw it to the dice, huh?
I know, that's what I mean. I think it was because he was like headlining and everyone was like, oh, well, this is a face that's been on a podcast, you know, like that sort of way, but fucking, you know, but
Unfortunately to be a spoiled sports spur, but I'm going to get back for 7. Like,
oh yeah, no worries, yeah, 100%. Yeah, so figure we'll wrap it up on that. So you want to plug anything there? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was always what I need to plug.
Yeah.
Yo Magazine, we run gigs with them. I don't book it, but
So stop fucking taxing them.
no, Yo Magazine. So basically it's back. It's gonna be first sort of week of every month maybe, but it's a Thursday in the Out of Office Brewery. We've got the headliners booked for the next few. We've got Paddy Raff doing it. When will this be it?
What day is it today? Friday.
Friday.
When's the gig?
Thursday.
This next Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be up.
Paddy Raff coming down. Come on down. 100 tickets. They're flying out. Get on it, folks. And then the Students' Union is in Ulster Uni in their brand new Students' Union campus on the 23rd of February. Ian Thompson headline and myself MC. And if you want to check it out, come on down, folks. Also follow me on Instagram, Ciaran Franco Comedy.
Yeah, I put the description in the description, all his socials and stuff. But the one I wanted to plug is the Portside Inn.
Yes.
At the docks in, is it North Belfast?
Yeah, Belfast.
North
Probably
Belfast.
walked it, but get stabbed in the way. But,
yeah. So it's myself, Ciaran will be on it, Pete Giffen's on it. Well, I'm MCing, Adam Burns on it, and we've got William Thompson headlining. So if you want to get on that, the ticket link's in my bio on Instagram. So if you're listening, you don't follow me, fuck you. Follow me and go on it, because I've heard people doing that before, going, I've seen your podcast, and then I'm like, I have no idea, you've never followed me or anything. I'm like, what the fuck, how you? But yeah, so go for that. So Yo Magazine next Thursday, which will be, what date is that?
Thursday the 9th.
Thursday the 9th in the Ulster Sports Club and the Out of Office Brewery upstairs, and then the Portside Inn on the 2nd of March. So that'll be good, crack. So we'll fucking end her off there. So thank you very much for coming on,
Pleasure,
Ciaran.
man. Thank you very much.
You're always probably one of the funnier guests on it. So
Thank you very much.
I've had some
Cheers.
high profile comedians on now, as I know, man. Shade, because he cancelled on me today. So yeah, fuck it, we'll end it on that.
That's a pod.
See you later. Fuck it.